AudioBooksTube is glad to produce, publish, and offer. Only winners will find this video today. Don't ignore if you do. Joe Dispenza by Sage D. Esotreasure. Out of all the noise and distractions in the world, something led you to this message right now. That's not a coincidence. There's a reason you've clicked on this, and deep down, you probably know it. The universe works in subtle, yet purposeful ways, guiding people who are ready for change, those who are prepared to embrace their full potential. If you've made it this far, there's a high likelihood that you're on the edge of a breakthrough. However, not everyone will finish reading this. Only those on the verge of achieving something truly significant will continue. You might feel something stirring inside of you, a sense that you're meant for more, that there's something greater waiting to be unlocked within you. If that resonates, this message is for you. We're about to explore the mindset that sets winners apart from the rest, showing you the habits and resilience that turn aspirations into achievements. By the time you reach the end of this, you'll not only understand what it means to truly win in life, but you'll also be equipped with tools to align your actions with the success you've always dreamed of. Let me be clear, this isn't just another motivational pep talk. What you're about to dive into is a challenge, an invitation to step into the version of yourself that you've always felt within. It's a journey, and yes, it's a difficult one. But the fact that you're still reading means you're ready. By the end, it will become evident why you were drawn to this message today. Before we get deeper, welcome to this platform, your go-to space for unlocking your highest potential. If you're ready to break through the barriers that have held you back, if you're determined to craft the life you deserve, then keep going. You're on the brink of transformation. But, remember, change begins with the mind. Let's start with the foundation, self-belief. Without it, no amount of talent, knowledge, or hard work can carry you far. Self-belief is the core of any real transformation. The very fact that you've come across this text is a sign either you're already on a journey toward realizing your potential, or you're ready to begin. It's often said that winners aren't born, they're made. But what does that truly mean? It all begins with self-confidence, though not the loud, boastful kind. True self-confidence is quiet, steadfast, and resilient. It's the unshakable belief that you are capable of more, even when the world around you says otherwise. Look at the people who seem to always achieve their goals. Were they born knowing they would succeed? Absolutely not. Most of them faced failure after failure, but they held on to an inner belief that they were meant for something greater. That's the same energy that led you here today. Now, consider those moments in your life when doubt crept in. Did you retreat, or did you push forward? Winners aren't strangers to doubt, they simply don't allow it to stop them. When you genuinely believe in yourself, it transforms the way you handle obstacles. Instead of seeing setbacks as evidence that you're not good enough, you begin to see them as stepping stones for growth. And growth builds confidence, creating a powerful feedback loop that fuels your achievements. Interestingly, the mind doesn't always need proof to start believing. Sometimes, belief itself creates the proof. How many times have you seen someone succeed, not because they were the most talented, but because they believed they could? That's the difference between those who give up and those who keep going. It's not just about skill, it's about mindset. The fact that you're still reading this means that, on some level, you already possess the mindset of a winner. You may not feel it yet, but the drive to achieve more lives inside you. It all starts with a small but profound shift in how you view yourself. Sure, you may have doubts or fears, but none of that matters as much as your willingness to trust in your potential. You wouldn't have been drawn to this message if a part of you wasn't ready to embrace this truth. That's no coincidence. What does this mean for you? It means you're already ahead of the curve. Most people never even take the first step towards seeking knowledge, inspiration, or guidance. Winners don't wait for perfect conditions. They move forward, even in uncertainty, because they trust they'll figure things out along the way. That's what separates them from the rest, and that's why you're still here, resonating with this message. Let's get real for a moment. Self-belief isn't something that happens overnight. It's not like flipping a switch. Confidence is built step by step, challenge by challenge. It's built every time you face something difficult and refuse to back down. Each time you tell yourself, "I can do this," even when you're unsure, your self-belief strengthens. Confidence doesn't come before action, it comes from action. Think about the most successful people you know, figures like Steve Jobs, Oprah Winfrey, Elon Musk. What do they all have in common? It wasn't just talent or luck that propelled them. It was an unshakable belief in their vision, even when others doubted them. Steve Jobs was fired from the company he built. Did that stop him? No. Oprah faced rejection after rejection before becoming one of the most influential people in the world. Elon Musk's ambitious ideas were often mocked, but he pushed forward because he believed in the change he could create. These are not isolated stories of success, they are examples of resilience fueled by belief. What makes these people stand out is not that they faced fewer challenges than anyone else. It's that they kept going. They kept believing when it looked like things were impossible. And that's the power of self-belief. It gives you the resilience to keep pushing forward, no matter what obstacles you face. Here's the magic: when you believe in yourself, others start to believe in you too. Confidence is contagious, not arrogance, but genuine, quiet confidence. People can sense it in how you carry yourself, in the way you speak, in the way you act. When you believe in your ability to succeed, others will start to see you as someone destined for success. And that opens doors you didn't even know existed. But remember, it all starts with you. It starts with the decision to believe in yourself, even when the evidence hasn't shown up yet. That's the foundation of winning. Success isn't reserved for the lucky few, it's available to anyone who is willing to bet on themselves, consistently. the journey to achieving greatness isn't easy. There will be times when you want to quit, moments when doubt seems louder than belief. But those who win are the ones who keep moving, step by step, believing in the possibility of something better, even when the path is unclear. Now that you've absorbed this, it's time to ask yourself, are you ready? Are you ready to stop letting fear, doubt, and uncertainty hold you back? Are you ready to trust that you have what it takes to make the impossible possible? If you've made it this far, the answer is already inside of you. The real question is, what will you do next? Backing yourself, even when the road ahead is unclear, is the defining trait of a winner. Winners don't wait for others to validate their dreams or to tell them it's possible. They believe in themselves first, and everything else follows. You might be thinking that sounds inspiring, but how do you actually begin to build that self-belief? The answer is deceptively simple, one small step at a time. Start by setting small goals and achieving them. Every small success builds your confidence, and as your confidence grows, so does your ability to take on bigger challenges. It's a process, and though it takes time, the rewards are beyond what you can currently imagine. This is where you are right now, at the start of something far larger than you can yet perceive. The fact that you're still reading this proves that you are ready for more, ready to adopt the mindset of a winner. You don't need external approval or validation because, deep down, you already know that you're capable. Now, it's about taking action and proving it to yourself. Before discussing the achievements that winners attain, it's crucial to address the one factor that makes those achievements possible: action. No matter how much you believe in yourself or how clear your vision is, without action, nothing happens. The fundamental difference between those who succeed and those who don't often boils down to one thing: winners don't wait for the perfect moment. They don't hesitate or second-guess themselves into endless indecision. They take immediate, decisive action, even when they're uncertain, and that's what moves them forward. Think about the goals you've set for yourself. Whether they pertain to your career, personal life, or health, how often have you postponed action, waiting for the right time? Perhaps you wanted everything to align perfectly before making your move, or you felt like you needed to prepare more before you started. Here's the truth: the perfect moment will never come. The only moment that matters is right now. Winners know this, and they understand that waiting for perfection often leads to waiting indefinitely. So instead of stalling, they act. They know that imperfect action is always better than inaction. Each small step brings them closer to their goals. The key here is that action creates momentum. Once you start moving, it becomes easier to keep going. The first step is always the hardest, but it's also the most crucial. Ask yourself right now, are you taking the necessary steps to achieve your goals? Are you actively working toward them? Or are you still waiting for the perfect moment to begin? Reflect on the actions you've taken recently. If you're not where you want to be, it's likely because there's a gap between what you know you should be doing and what you're actually doing. It's easy to get stuck in the planning phase, thinking you need to map out every detail before you take the first step. But here's the reality: winners don't wait for a complete roadmap. They understand that clarity comes through action. When you start moving, you learn, you adjust, and you improve along the way. Waiting until everything is perfect means missing opportunities and wasting valuable time. The most successful people you admire didn't have all the answers when they began. They didn't wait until they were 100% ready. They took action, learned from their mistakes, and adjusted their course as they went. Progress comes through doing, not overthinking. Taking action doesn't mean you won't face setbacks or challenges. In fact, you will. But winners understand that failure is part of the process. They don't see it as the end, they see it as feedback. It's just another step in learning and growing. Each time you take action, whether the result is good or bad, you gain valuable experience that will help you improve. Over time, these small actions accumulate, creating momentum and pushing you closer to your goals. If you're hesitating, ask yourself what's holding you back. Often, it's fear of failure or fear of the unknown. But winners embrace these fears. They know that the only way to overcome them is to act in spite of them. Action doesn't eliminate fear, but it does make you stronger in the face of it. The more you act, the more resilient you become, and fear loses its power over you. Now, think about where you want to be in 6 months, a year, or even 5 years. Are you on track to get there? If not, what can you do today to start moving in the right direction? It doesn't have to be a grand gesture. Even small actions can lead to significant results over time. The key is consistency. Winners take action every day, even when they don't feel like it. They understand that success is built on daily habits, not sporadic bursts of effort. One of the hardest parts of taking action is just getting started. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by the size of your goals or the challenges ahead. Winners break their goals into manageable steps. Rather than focusing on the end result, they concentrate on the next step, and once that step is complete, they move on to the next. This approach makes even the largest goals feel achievable. It's also crucial to remember that taking action isn't just about doing more, it's about doing the right things. Winners don't stay busy for the sake of being busy. They focus on actions that move them closer to their goals. They're strategic, ensuring that every step they take aligns with where they want to go. This means prioritizing what truly matters and letting go of distractions that don't serve their long-term vision. Distractions are one of the greatest enemies of progress. It's easy to get caught up in tasks that feel productive but don't actually contribute to your goals. Winners are ruthless in cutting out these distractions. They understand that every minute spent on something irrelevant is time taken away from their pursuit of success. At the core of every winner's journey is this understanding: success is not an event. It's not a moment in time that happens once you've crossed a finish line. Success is the cumulative result of consistent, aligned action taken over days, months, and years. It's built, one step at a time, by making the right decisions and taking the right actions, day in and day out. So, what does this mean for you? It means that no matter where you are right now, you can start building your path to success. It's not about having all the answers or waiting until everything is perfectly lined up. It's about taking action today. Start small if you must, but start. Each small victory will build your confidence and momentum, propelling you forward. And remember, winners don't just dream. They do. They don't wait. They act. They take control of their lives and their futures, knowing that the only way to achieve greatness is to put one foot in front of the other every single day. In the end, success isn't reserved for a select few. It's available to anyone who is willing to take action, learn from failure, and keep going, no matter what. It's not about perfection. It's about progress. It's about backing yourself, even when the road is unclear, and trusting that the path will reveal itself as you move forward. When you find yourself grappling with inaction or doubt, begin by focusing on one small step you can take today that will bring you closer to your goal. It doesn't need to be a monumental move, but it does need to be something tangible. Once you've identified that step, take it. Don't wait for the perfect circumstances, the right inspiration, or for motivation to strike. Just act. That first step will start building momentum, and before long, the path to success will start to come into focus. If you're enjoying this audiobook and finding value in the content, we kindly ask you to take a moment to subscribe to the channel. A large portion of our listeners and viewers haven't subscribed yet, and by doing so, you'll help us grow and continue bringing you more high-quality audiobooks. Your support means a lot to us, and it's just one click away. So, go ahead and hit that subscribe button to stay connected and never miss out on our latest releases. The key thing to remember is that winners take action because they understand that change is created through effort, not by waiting for luck or perfect conditions. They don't sit idle, waiting for opportunities to fall into their laps. Instead, they forge their own opportunities through continuous action, learning, and adjusting as they go. This active approach is what sets them apart from those who remain stuck in the cycle of hesitation and overplanning. As you reflect on your own goals, ask yourself, what can I do right now that will bring me closer to where I want to be? Whatever your answer may be, commit to starting today. That first small step is crucial. You don't need to have the entire journey mapped out to begin. Winners know that taking action is the key to unlocking their potential, and now it's your time to start doing the same. Before we move on to discussing the ultimate rewards of success, there's a vital truth that we must first acknowledge: challenges are inevitable. Every successful person, no matter how much they appear to have it all figured out, has faced their own share of adversity. In fact, it's often the very act of overcoming these challenges that defines a true winner. It's not the absence of difficulty that makes someone a winner, but how they respond to those difficulties. Life will always throw obstacles in your path, but it's how you choose to face them that shapes your journey. When winners encounter challenges, they don't view them as roadblocks or reasons to give up. They see them as opportunities to learn, to grow, and to push beyond the limits they previously thought were fixed. These challenges reveal strengths that might have otherwise remained hidden. Think about the last significant challenge you faced. How did you react? Did you allow it to overwhelm you, or did you rise to meet it head-on? Winners understand that setbacks are not permanent, and they approach challenges with a mindset that's solution-focused rather than problem-focused. They see each difficulty as a temporary hurdle rather than an immovable wall. A key component of facing adversity is having a strong, resilient mindset. Winners mentally prepare themselves for tough times, knowing that challenges are a natural and inevitable part of life. Instead of being caught off guard when difficulties arise, they expect them and are ready to face them. This mental preparedness allows them to stay calm under pressure, think strategically, and make clear, thoughtful decisions, even in the most difficult situations. It's essential to understand that challenges are not punishments or signs of failure. Rather, they are opportunities to grow, evolve, and become better. Every challenge you face is a chance to build resilience, sharpen your adaptability, and develop your problem-solving skills. Winners embrace these moments because they know that each time they overcome a challenge, they emerge stronger on the other side. Of course, there will be times when challenges feel overwhelming, when it seems easier to just give up. But winners know that persistence is the key to pushing through adversity. They keep going, even when the odds seem stacked against them. They don't quit when things get hard. They dig in deeper, knowing that often, the breakthrough is just around the corner. It's this persistence that sets winners apart from everyone else. Another crucial element of overcoming challenges is understanding that you don't have to face them alone. Winners build strong support systems around themselves, whether it's a mentor, a coach, or a close-knit group of friends. Having people who believe in you and who can offer guidance and encouragement can make all the difference when navigating difficult times. Winners know when to seek help and aren't afraid to ask for support when they need it. Part of overcoming challenges also involves learning to shift your perspective. Instead of fixating on the negative aspects of a situation, winners look for the silver lining. They ask themselves, what can I learn from this, or how can this challenge help me grow? This positive outlook doesn't mean ignoring the difficulty of the situation, but it does mean focusing on what can be gained from it rather than dwelling on what's been lost. Additionally, the way you talk to yourself during challenging times plays a significant role in how you handle those situations. Negative self-talk can drain your energy and make you feel defeated before you even begin. Winners, however, practice positive self-talk. They remind themselves of their strengths, their past successes, and their ability to overcome whatever is in front of them. This internal dialogue keeps them focused and motivated, even when things aren't going as planned. Challenges often bring out qualities in us that we didn't know we had. In the face of adversity, you might discover inner strength, creativity, or perseverance that you weren't aware of before. Winners see challenges as opportunities to unlock new potential within themselves. They don't shy away from difficulties because they understand that each challenge is a chance to grow and become a better version of themselves. Winners also recognize that challenges can open doors to unexpected opportunities. Sometimes, the obstacles we face lead us down paths we never would have explored otherwise. What might initially seem like a setback could actually be a redirection towards something even better. Winners remain open to these possibilities and stay flexible in their approach, allowing them to turn challenges into opportunities. Take a moment to reflect on the challenges you've faced in your own life. How have they shaped you? What have you learned from them? Winners constantly reflect on their experiences, using each challenge as a stepping stone to greater success. They don't dwell on what went wrong or what they could have done differently. Instead, they focus on how they can apply what they've learned moving forward. Another trait winners embody is practicing gratitude, even during the toughest times. They understand that challenges, while difficult, are an essential part of the journey. They don't wish for an easy path, because they appreciate the growth that comes from facing and overcoming adversity. This mindset of gratitude helps them remain positive and resilient, even when things aren't going their way. As you move forward in your journey, remember that you have the power to overcome whatever challenges come your way. You've faced challenges before, and you'll face them again. Each time you do, you'll become stronger, wiser, and more capable. Winners don't run from challenges, they confront them head-on, knowing that they are part of the road to success. The journey to success is filled with challenges, but it's also filled with opportunities to grow, learn, and become more than you ever thought possible. Winners embrace these moments because they know that it's in the face of adversity that true greatness is forged. So as you continue on your journey, remember to welcome the challenges that come your way. See them for what they are, opportunities to grow, to learn, and to become the person you're destined to be. Success is not a spontaneous event that occurs overnight. It's not the product of one massive effort or a single stroke of luck. Instead, true success unfolds over time, shaped by repeated actions, unwavering focus, and daily dedication. Consistency lies at the heart of it all. Winners understand that while short bursts of effort may create some initial momentum, it's the continuous and steady commitment that sustains and builds that momentum into long-term achievements. Picture a gardener tending to seeds. They don't simply plant those seeds, water them once, and then expect to see a blooming garden the next day. Instead, they nurture the seeds daily, caring for them with patience as they gradually grow. In the same way, winners approach their goals. They don't give up when results aren't immediate, and they don't walk away after the first attempt. They keep showing up, day after day, putting in the necessary effort, even when it feels like progress isn't visible. Consistency isn't just about action, though. It's also about maintaining the right mindset. Winners don't develop a positive, success-driven mindset and then neglect it. They understand that, like a muscle, mindset requires constant exercise and reinforcement. They regularly practice affirmations, visualize their goals, and surround themselves with positive influences. They know that a consistent mindset leads to consistent results. Habits play an essential role in this consistency. Every successful individual cultivates daily habits that contribute to their long-term objectives, whether it's reading, exercising, or setting time aside for personal growth. These habits might seem small, but they accumulate over time, creating the foundation for larger successes. Winners understand that success is the result of countless small efforts, repeated every single day. They don't rely on one grand gesture to carry them to their destination. Instead, they commit to the process, trusting that every step they take brings them closer to their goal. Staying consistent can be difficult, especially when the results aren't immediately obvious. This is where many people stumble. It's easy to feel motivated at the beginning when excitement fuels your actions, but the real challenge comes when the initial enthusiasm fades and you're left with the daily grind. Winners know how to push through these moments. They possess the discipline to continue, even when the work isn't glamorous or exciting. They understand that consistency requires grit and perseverance, and they commit to the process because they trust the outcome will be worth it. One of the reasons consistency is so powerful is that it creates momentum. When you repeat an action consistently, progress begins to build, and that progress creates even more progress. Think of pushing a boulder uphill. At first, it's slow and requires significant effort. But as you keep pushing, the boulder begins to roll more easily, eventually gaining its own momentum. Winners are patient enough to wait for that momentum to take hold, understanding that once it does, it becomes easier to maintain and even accelerate. Consistency also builds trust in yourself. Each time you follow through on a commitment you've made to yourself, you reinforce your self-confidence. You prove to yourself that you are capable of achieving what you set out to do. This self-trust is essential because when challenges inevitably arise, you need to have the confidence that you can overcome them. Winners consistently show up for themselves, and because of that, they trust themselves to handle whatever comes their way. Another vital aspect of consistency is accountability. Winners hold themselves accountable for their actions, their progress, and their results. They don't point fingers at external circumstances when things don't go as planned. Instead, they take full responsibility for their own consistency. They set measurable goals, track their progress, and use the feedback from their results to adjust their actions if necessary. They understand that consistency isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up, taking action, and learning from the process. Consistency doesn't mean doing the same thing repeatedly without reflection. Winners are always evaluating their actions and refining their strategies. They are open to pivoting when needed but remain committed to the principle of consistency. They understand that while the specific steps they take may change over time, the key to success is staying devoted to the process, no matter what challenges arise. There's a common misconception that success comes from massive, sweeping changes. But in reality, success is built on small, consistent improvements. Winners don't focus on making drastic changes all at once. Instead, they aim to get just a little bit better every day. They understand that these small improvements compound over time, leading to significant results. It's not about making giant leaps, it's about steady, incremental progress. Staying consistent also helps winners maintain focus on their long-term goals. In today's world, where short-term gratification is constantly at our fingertips, it's easy to get distracted. Winners, however, have the discipline to remain focused on the bigger picture. They don't chase after quick wins or fleeting opportunities that don't align with their ultimate vision. Instead, they remain committed to the actions that will bring them closer to their long-term objectives, even if those actions don't offer immediate rewards. Take a moment to reflect on your own life. Are you consistent in your habits, actions, and mindset? Are you showing up for yourself every day, even when it's difficult or inconvenient? Winners know that success isn't a final destination, it's a journey. And consistency is the vehicle that carries them along that journey. They don't give up when progress is slow or when they encounter obstacles. They keep going, confident that their persistent efforts will eventually pay off. Consistency also means staying dedicated to personal growth. Winners never stop learning or improving. They are constantly seeking out new knowledge, skills, and experiences that will help them grow. They understand that success isn't a static state, it's dynamic and requires continuous development. Winners are lifelong learners, always investing in themselves and their growth. Winners don't focus solely on the outcome. While the results are certainly important, they understand that the journey, the process of becoming better every day, is what truly matters. They fall in love with that journey, knowing that each step forward, no matter how small, is bringing them closer to their goals. As you progress on your own journey, keep in mind that the path to success is shaped by the choices you make every day. Each decision, each action moves you closer to your dreams. Embrace the process, believe in your ability to achieve great things, and trust that the universe is working with you, not against you. If you found inspiration in this message, remember to take that energy and apply it. Keep showing up for yourself. Keep taking consistent steps toward your goals. Every small action you take compounds over time. Stay focused, stay consistent, and before long, you'll find that you've become the best version of yourself, not because of one heroic effort, but because of the steady, unwavering commitment to your growth and success. The journey may be long, and the results may take time, but trust in the process. Consistency will always lead you to where you're meant to be. Copyright 2024 by AudioBooksTube. Thank you for listening. Please consider to subscribe, like, and share to help the channel growth. New videos on a daily basis.